Hello, hello. Welcome back, I hope. Welcome back to session 3, the final session of Lockdown Made Me. So just to recap, Lockdown Made Me is a collaboration between myself and Jake Woods, aka Woodsy, for Creative Crawley and the Right Here Festival. So if you've been tagging along and you've done the first 2 videos, you will know that this is a spoken word creative writing project that is supporting you guys through a process of creative reflection, exploring the impact lockdown has had on you and life since March 2020, since this global pandemic took hold of the country and changed things drastically. So this session is a bit of a bringing together of all your thoughts and feelings and material created so far within the first 2 sessions to write your final piece of material for the festival. Just to remind you that you have got the opportunity to submit any of your writing to the festival, to the Creative Crawley team, and you could be in with the chance of having it showcased and performed by Jake during the festival finale. So today's session is going to support you to bring together all of the material and explore the stuff that you really want to finalise and polish and create into one piece, and looking at all the themes that we've unpicked and experimented with together so far. But before we go on to do our final piece of writing, I'm going to hand you over now to Jake for session 3's Creative Connector.
Thank you very much, Sinead. Hi, everybody. Welcome to session number 3. We're getting there, right? We're doing it. So, yeah, cool. For our creative connector today, for our little warm-up, we're going to do a free write, so like we did in the first session, but we are going to have some titles that I want you guys to actually try and include in the free write, okay? So you're going to have lots of options, and the idea is to try and put as many of them as you can into the free write. If you get stuck on one, just try and move on to another one. If one kind of hits you and you really connect with that one, I'd say just try and stick with that one and write as much as you can for it, okay? So the titles are going to be Lockdown Made Me, The New Normal, Where's My Life At, Before, Between and Beyond, Ebbs and Flows, Highs and Lows, and the last one, You Must Stay at Home. So like I said, just try and connect to a couple of those titles. You don't have to use all of them. Just try and do as many as you can. Give me a pause and you're going to have 5 minutes to do this. Good luck and enjoy.
Lovely. So thank you to Jake for that final creative connector. Okay, main task time. So you have hopefully created quite a lot of material over the last 2 sessions, and now in addition that creative connector from this session. I would say you have at least 3, if not double that, pieces of writing to look at now. And when I'm talking about those, I'm talking about the creative connectors as well as the main task material you've been sculpting. So get those out, whether they're Word documents on your tablets or computers or phones, or whether they are pieces of writing on paper. Find them, lay them out in front of you, and start to look at these. So you want to use the material that you've been exploring to kickstart your final piece. It may be that you don't use any of the actual content, but your inspiration from your thought processes for each of those pieces informs your final piece. But I would suggest you take at least 5 minutes now to pore over all that material you've created. Get a highlighter, get another coloured pen, circle stuff, underline stuff, draw it out, put it on another piece of paper, and start to explore the stuff that you really want to use for your final piece. I would even suggest, if you have the time, to rerun some of the creative connectors. So you had the 838 activity, which was supporting you to develop the free flow writing skills. You had the poetry race, which was the random words turned into sentences connected to the ebbs and flows theme, and you've just had your free flow title responses from this first creative connector today. if you feel you need to, redo those creative connectors to get yourself in the zone and to explore material further before you write your final piece. But as I said, I would suggest at least 5 minutes to start to explore your notes and your material from the last sessions before you go on to write your final piece. And now Jake's already mentioned that we have explored some potential working titles for you for your final piece. So you've got Lockdown Made Me, you've got The New Normal, you've got Where's My Life At, ? The Before, Between and the Beyond, The Ebbs and Flows and Highs and Lows, and You Must Stay at Home. Now, some of those are the titles from the sessions that we've done. Some of those are Jake and I just exploring things that have come to our minds whilst we've been doing our own writing. So you might want to start to make some notes if you haven't finished in the Creative Connector. You might want to start to make some notes under your preferred titles now. So give yourself as long as you need for this task. We definitely encourage that you take as much time as you want, and you don't have to follow the 5-minute pause suggestion here. You could take a whole day, go and find your space, and find some time to really unpick and explore what you want to write. So pause me for at least 5 minutes and then come back for the final prompts for your main task. Okay, you've done at least 5 minutes of poring over your notes and your material from the previous sessions. This is it. It's kind of over to you now. We're not going to give you any more of a framework to say you have to write this or that under this or that. It's over to you. We just want you to take your own time to now write a piece that you feel really explores and experiments with your thought process and your actions and whatever it is you want to give voice to, taking from your mind to the pen to the paper again, to make a record of your life since March 2020. Use those titles, use your own titles, and take your time to write your final piece of writing. Quick reminder before I hand over to Jake that if you would like your material to be featured within the festival, then you need to submit them to the Crawley website, Creative Crawley website, by the 27th of January for a chance to have them featured on the website and or performed by Woodsy within the showcase finale. So I'm going to hand over to Jake now. If you need it, do watch Jake's next section, which might support you even further for this final piece of writing. Otherwise, pause again and continue your writing and come back and look at this when you want to have an insight into taking your material from the page to the stage. Other than that, it's bye from me, and I'm really looking forward to reading the material that you've created within these sessions. Feel free to ping us an email, let us know how you found the workshops. Any questions, give us a shout. Other than that, over to Jake and happy writing.
Okay, thank you very much, Sinead. So we are going to go on to our performance activity. So this is going to be called From Page to the Stage. And basically, we're going to try and just look at a few pointers, a few different techniques for you guys to be able to work on. Okay, so for me as a spoken word artist, performance is the most important aside from content. So your content has to be really, really important. But then if you're actually going to be out there performing as well, the performance has to be on that level. Like, it has to be just as much. So I feel like the most important thing is for you to know all the lyrics off by heart. Okay, so you need to kind of live with those lyrics. Once you've written it, once you've got to a certain point and you're confident with it, you almost have to live with them. So for me, I do them while I'm maybe cooking, maybe while I'm doing my ironing, while I'm out shopping. People probably think I'm talking to myself, but that's just how I learn a lot of my lyrics. And I feel like if you keep getting stuck at certain points, just put them into sections. So maybe do a section of 4 lines and try and really just live with those 4 lines, try and learn it until you get to a point where you no longer have to either look at your page or look at your phone or whatever you've written on, and you can just really, really connect with it. And once you've done those 4 lines, then you can then try and do the next 4 lines until you then have 8 lines and you're really able to just kind of live with them and kind of really connect with them. So I have a piece called When the West Went to Rehab, and the way I was writing that piece is I would write the first line, and then before I wrote the next line, I would read that line out and then write the next line, because then it's the repetition of it. You're constantly going over it, which is really, really important. And with that piece, I'm going to show you just a part of it and give you a different technique. So normally how I'd perform just the first part of it, it's called When the West Went to Rehab, and this is how the first part goes. When the West went to rehab, the tests all got revamped. The celebs had a relapse and the rest they can see that, so please clap. Clap for Mother Nature as she enters her recovery. Stand up for the wonder that comes after the worrying. Humans are going into isolation, hibernation, defined by enough lies that could hide a nation. Okay, so that's just like one little snippet from the piece. And for me, another really good way to learn that piece is to really use your enunciations when you're doing it. So the start of it is when the West went to rehab, the tests all got revamped. The celebs had a relapse and the rest they can see that. But if you really like enunciate those words and move your mouth as much as you can, so it would be like this. When the West went to rehab, the tests all got revamped. The celebs had a relapse and the rest they can see that. So it's gonna look, you're gonna look silly when you're doing it. So it's probably good that we're gonna be at home and we're able to just do it that way. But it's a really good way to kind of get those words out there and to really just kind of live with them. So yeah, that's a really good technique. And then for me as well, another one, I'm not very good at doing accents, but I find if you do an accent, it's also another really like good way to try and learn it, because you're then focusing just on the words and you're able to kind of just perform them in a different way. So I don't know what accent I'll do. Try and do Scottish accent. Scottish. When the West went to rehab, the tests all got revamped. The celebs had a relapse and the rest you can see that. So please clap. Clap for Mother Nature as she enters her recovery. See, I'm not that good at it, but just try and put on a different voice. Maybe do a high-pitched voice. Maybe do a lower-pitched voice. And like I said, just try and really live with the pieces. Try and learn them as best as you can. And then that way you're going to be able to really connect to your audience. So obviously for this festival, we're not going to be able to be in a venue performing to people. But that way, when you perform it to your phone and you do your recording, you're going to be able to really connect to someone. So you need to look like right into the camera and really deliver those words as you've written them with the emotion that you've used when you've written them. So yeah, that's just a couple of performance techniques. I hope that helps with you guys. And yeah, so just a quick reminder about the deadline. Make sure we're going to put it up here and we're going to give you all the details of where to send your work, but it'll be great to see all the final pieces, and then on the finale of the actual festival we'll be able to see them alongside some other amazing artists and stuff that's been happening in Crawley. So yeah, I can't wait. I hope these sessions have been beneficial for you guys. Me and Sinead wish we could have been there with you, actually working with you in the actual building, but obviously with lockdown and everything, we're trying our best to deliver it online and through a screen. I know it's more tricky, but hopefully this way you can come back and look at these, and I think we're going to upload them to YouTube as well, so that way you can come back and then maybe work on something else and choose one of the other ones in the future to work on. But thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure to work with you. I can't wait to read all your pieces and hopefully perform some of them as well. So yeah, thank you.